Welcome to Ethiopia Today. This channel is the product of our love for Ethiopia and its people. We are so grateful for having great fans just like you behind us to achieve our mission for Ethiopia together. Wishing you a very happy Christmas to you all who are celebrating the 2014 Ethiopian Christmas according to your Christian faith. Our presentation focuses on Feltman's probably the last journey to Addis Ababa and the Chinese plan to appoint its own version of the Horn of Africa envoy. Let's get straight into the presentation. U.S. envoy Feltman visiting Ethiopia to meet with officials. The U.S. Horn of Africa envoy Jeffrey Feltman will visit Ethiopia on Thursday for meetings with senior government officials to discuss peace talks, according to a senior State Department official on Reuters. The journey carries the same Washington's push to bring so-called an end to the conflict of Ethiopia. Feltman will be in Addis on January 6, 2022 for meetings with senior government officials to discuss peace talks, the official said on Feltman's upcoming visit to Addis Ababa. The United States on Saturday, January 1, 2022 cut Ethiopia from access to a duty-free trade program affecting thousands of low-income employees, mainly women, and millions of their families. In November they imposed sanctions on the Eritrean military and other Eritrea-based individuals and entities. What's up, Ambassador Feltman? We don't really understand what options are left for America to force the federal government of Ethiopia to surrender and accept its requests. Feltman's America keeps punishing the legitimate government and the people of Ethiopia to push for peace deal with terrorist group. The U.S. officials have already shot off the biggest arrow in their quiver against the advice of congressional leaders. Feltman's journey is never working, and neither we expect any change of course from the People's Government of Ethiopia. The government is mandated to undertake its duty in such a way that ensures the sovereignty of Ethiopia and its people. What's left now? Rather, he needs to urge the TPLF leaders to surrender, as Bronwyn Bruton and Ann Fitzgerald recommended and published on the U.S. Foreign Policy magazine recently. As the scholars clearly suggested, calling for the surrender of key TPLF leaders will help to reassure Ethiopians that the United States is not backing the insurgency or seeking the overthrow of the Ethiopian government. If these TPLF leaders refuse to surrender in the interest of peace, the United States should apply sanctions. Unlike Abiy, the TPLF's leaders have both assets and family overseas and would be vulnerable to pressure put on their fortunes. Period. There is no other way if your genuine intention is to end the conflict. Indeed, this is the only slim runway for the U.S. administration to get involved in this matter. We are calling this as a slim chance because of the deteriorated trust between the two governments. The other development came from the U.S. is that Jeffrey Feltman, U.S. Special Envoy for the Horn of Africa, will be stepping down from his post this month after more than 9 months in the job. David Satterfield, the outgoing U.S. ambassador to Turkey, will be replacing Ambassador Feltman, according to the Reuters report on Wednesday. Feltman, a veteran U.S. diplomat, assumed the post in April and quickly found himself in the middle of two major crises: Ethiopia's war and a Sudanese military coup in October. The news of his departure, which was not previously reported, came before he heads to Ethiopia on Thursday. Feltman, 62, said a sense of duty brought him out of quasi-retirement following more than 25 years as an American diplomat with postings to the United Nations, Middle East and North Africa. Feltman took the role with an intention to serve for less than a year, a source familiar with the matter told Reuters. It was said that Satterfield will provide continued U.S. focus, necessary because of ongoing instability and interconnected challenges in the region. Feltman has faced strong headwinds to progress. In Sudan, protests have continued for weeks, including on Tuesday, 2 days after the resignation of Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok. He served from 2019 until the coup and was reinstated on November 21 in an agreement with the military widely rejected by protesters. Satterfield, a veteran of the U.S. Foreign Service with more than 4 decades of experience, has had a challenging post as U.S. ambassador in Turkey, where he navigated a strained bilateral relationship between the two NATO allies. Prior to Ankara, he served in Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Tunisia and Syria among others, and worked twice as the top US diplomat at the State Department for Middle East Affairs in an acting capacity. Turkey's increasing drone exports, most recently to Ethiopia, will be a common thread in Satterfield's old and new roles according to the Reuters. Washington in December raised with Turkey its sales of armed drones to Ethiopia. Sources said there was mounting evidence the government used the weapons against rebel fighters, as Reuters reported. What is wrong with using drones? Is the government of Ethiopia hiding or denying its use? Is using drones classified as nuclear weapon? We have no idea, to be honest. Our viewers, you can share your thoughts in this matter. China's foreign minister says his country will appoint a special envoy to the Horn of Africa region, where the region's being stabilized due to conflicts including Ethiopia, Sudan, Eritrea, and Somalia is also in the grip of a political crisis caused by a long-delayed election, according to the Washington Post. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi hasn't indicated the date his government is planning to make the appointment. He urged countries in the Horn of Africa, a strategic but at times turbulent region, to hold a peace conference, and said China's envoy could provide necessary support for that process. China's interests in the region include a military base in the tiny nation of Djibouti, tucked between Somalia and Eritrea. China also is the largest foreign direct investor in Ethiopia. Thanks for staying tuned. We hope you got something out of this. If you enjoyed our presentation, give us a like and share to your social contacts. And also don't forget to subscribe and hit on notification bell if this is your first time. By doing so, you are supporting Ethiopia Today channel to continue producing this and similar news. Many thanks. May God bless Ethiopia and its people.